We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
Welcome back. We're still in Sibiu, Romania, and today is another car day because we still have the car and it's a gorgeous day.
Today we are going to take a drive to the west and go check out Corvin Castle, which should be really cool. It's a large castle, I believe the largest in Romania, and it was built in the mid 15th century and should be pretty darn cool to check out. And on the way back, we're actually going to make a little side trip, which should also be really neat. So come along for the ride today and let's see what this looks like.
We are currently driving to the Corvin Castle and it's a really easy drive. The speed limits here are 130 kilometers per hour, which is something I think the most I've ever seen is 110 in Canada.
Oh no, we have. Oh wait, no, I swear we've done 120 zones. I'm pretty sure the Coca-Cola Highway is 120 in a lot of places, which coincidentally, this feels a lot like that right now. Just, you know, big 2-lane divided highway, high speed limits. Just looking at the landscape around us, this really does remind me of home right now. And also the road, by the way, is perfect. Well, that was an uneventful drive. Beautiful sunny day, clear roads. So we are now in the town of Hunădora, I believe it's pronounced, and we found parking for Corvin Castle basically right across the street from the castle. It's not very busy in the parking lot here, so because it's about noon on a Monday, they've just opened and it's pretty quiet right now, so that's going to be great. Parking was 20 lei. There's pay toilets here for 3 lei. Not too expensive, cheaper than what we paid yesterday. So
Yeah, and the gentleman was really chill. I ended up going to the bathroom before I paid and he didn't freak out. He just came and got the money after, so that was perfect. All right, so we're gonna make our way over to Corvin Castle. We've been told it's amazing, so here's open. And this is the first castle that we've ever actually truly visited, so that will be a very cool adventure.
hopefully you guys can see the castle properly behind us. It's a little backlit right now, but we got our tickets. It's 50 lei per person for adults, and yeah, it's not that crowded here right now, so it's gonna be fun.
And there is a fee for camera, but they let the GoPro by, so.
Yeah, there's a little sign with like extra fees, and video is one of those, but I'm guessing they mean for like big professional cameras, because she didn't say anything about the GoPro. She was like, yeah, it's fine. So.
First impressions, this is exactly what I imagine a castle to be.
Yeah, so the first phase of construction on Corvin Castle began in 1440, so it's almost 600 years old now, and it is one of the best examples of Gothic Renaissance architecture. So this is just absolutely stunning. It's not that busy here today on a Monday early afternoon, and I'm loving this. We are currently here in a kitchen area. According to the sign there were 3 of them in the castle, but this is where they would have hung meat and stuff from those chains on the walls, I guess. And we're here in a little dungeon area where they've got all sorts of medieval torture devices. Spiral staircase, very cool. I think we're at the top of one of the tower turrets. Yep. So obviously one of the towers is under renovations right now. Still really cool to be out here. So when we walked in across that bridge, there was the big tower. We're currently on like the balcony, I guess, or railing that's at the top of that first big tower that you could see from outside. And that whole section below us right now is under construction or renovations, which is too bad because I see a couple of cannons down there that look really cool. Right there. It's kind of hard to make out from here. We're at the top turret still, but if I zoom in here, you can see off in the distance there's a church with a little cemetery behind it. I wonder what happened.
It probably overheated. Yeah. Sorry.
See all the fluids on the ground?
Well, that was unexpected.
That was unexpectedly dramatic. Yeah. We are up on the main tower. We come around the corner on the outside balcony, and we see a car on fire across at that like hotel spa over there.
And sadly, we watch it burn 2 other cars beside it. And thankfully, the firemen showed up just in time for the 4th one to not go. But there was one gentleman who got his car out just in time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll show up on the video. I think it will. But yeah, he ran in, got his car, and like moved it just in time.
Probably within a minute to spare. Otherwise, yeah, the 3rd car that started burning started sending like melted burning rubber downhill, and that almost got it would have gotten his, and then it would have gotten another car as well.
So three families just got their day ruined, which totally blows.
Absolutely. We are currently going up towards the Neboisa Tower, I believe it is. So you can see on the map here, we went through the main castle, and now we came out this passageway, and we're going to go up that castle there.
Unfortunately, we can't go all the way up. It's blockaded off, which is unfortunate because I think it would be a really cool view.
Yeah, these are a little steep.
These chairs look very impressive, but they also look extremely uncomfortable.
So can't go down that way. That close up, but this is open. This is super narrow.
We have now wandered all of Corvin Castle. It's really cool. For our first castle, I'd say this was a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. A lot of it was reconstructed. I guess there was a lot of damage. I can't remember if it was fire or earthquake. So a lot of what we see here was reconstructed by archaeologists, but still very impressive building. Really, really cool to see just this style of castle. I mean, you know, that's why we're here in Europe, and we're surrounded by castles. I mean, it's crazy. You know, we're just driving yesterday on the way to the Transylvania, and you know, you can see them off in the distance. You know, so we looked up a couple, and they had honestly pretty low reviews, like ratings on Google, which to us is surprising, but I guess there's so many castles in Europe that, you know, some of them are just meh. But
I guess it's kind of like Siem Reap, where some of the ancient ruins just aren't worth seeing.
In Cambodia, yeah, absolutely. I guess at a certain point you get tired of all the, you know, history and whatever, but to us, this is cool because this is our first time seeing a castle up close.
Yeah. Mobility-wise, if you can't handle stairs, this is not the place for you. There's a lot of stairs, a lot of uneven ground, so that's just one thing to take into consideration.
And very narrow spiral staircases, so do be careful because a tumble down one of those would pretty well ruin your day.
And low ceilings. I hit my head a couple times, so.
And we're short.
But yeah, I would say this place is 100% worth coming to. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an hour and 40 odd minute drive from Sibiu. If you're in Bucharest, you know, you can do a day trip here, though that would be a much longer day. But if you're in the region, I would say Corvin Castle, definitely a must visit. It's absolutely stunning here. But I think we're going to wrap it up here, and we are going to head on to our next destination for today. We lied. We're not done here yet.
There's a torture museum. I guess it's like historic tortures. It's part of history. What can I say?
It's 20 lei admission per adult, so we're gonna go check it out.
A few moments later.
So the torture museum, I would say, not completely worth it. It's very small. I guess if you're interested in like what kind of torture devices they used back in the day, just be warned, it is very intense. And our second stop of the day is Alba Iulia. We don't really know what to expect. It was suggested to us that we stop here and take a look around by the person who rented us the car. So we decided to do that.
Yeah, it's just a short detour off the highway on our way home to Sibiu today, and it's just this cute little town that so far looks really awesome. We're gonna go wander around a little bit and see what we can find.
So a big surprise, this town actually has a dedicated gluten-free restaurant, which Sibiu does not. And it gets really good ratings, so it's dinner time and we decided to get dinner here. This restaurant's actually really big. For a gluten-free restaurant, a dedicated gluten-free restaurant, it's one of the bigger ones I've ever been to. So that means it's probably popular.
Our food has arrived, and I've gone with a chicken Caesar salad with chicken, bacon, Parmesan chips. Decided on a salad because I'd already had a burger. I wasn't that hungry. Didn't read the menu carefully enough. Didn't realize it was a chicken Caesar, so this is definitely going to be a decent amount of food. Chicken's a little dry for my liking. The flavor overall is pretty good.
I went with a veggie burger, which honestly, when I see it on the menu and I can have it, I can't help myself. And the bun actually looks like a regular bun. I did not actually get any burger in that bite. Give me a second. That is a black bean burger, and they did a really good job. They got some sauce on it. There's pickles, there's cheese, there's tomato and lettuce. It's probably going to fall apart, just given the first bite kind of did, but it is really tasty.
Salad was pretty tasty, but the chicken was really dry, so I wasn't a big fan. Luckily, I've found someone who's willing to take the chicken off my hands.
The veggie burger was really tasty. It's one of the better veggie burgers I've had. Actually, I haven't had a veggie burger since Indonesia, but they put too much on it, so it kind of fell apart, so I had to fork and knife it, but it was still good. So now that we've finished dinner, we are going to go check out the Citadel that is open 24 hours a day, so we figured we'd check it out before we leave this town.
It's called Alba Iulia Citadel or Fortress, and it is basically a large star-shaped fortress that sits in the middle of Alba Iulia. Obviously it doesn't work anymore, but it's basically a hand-cranked drawbridge on this fortress, which is Kind of cool. So we're standing here in front of, this is the Principia. This was the Legion headquarters building. And apparently Alba Carolina Citadel was built on top of two previous other fortifications that was in this location, one of which was the legionary fortress of Legio 13th Gemina, which was basically, what is it? In English, it's the 13th Twin Legion, which was part of the Imperial Roman Army, one of Julius Caesar's key army units. So I didn't know this, but there was a lot of Roman history here as well.
I was just saying that this has the basic same resemblance and reminding me very much of Bana Hills in Vietnam.
So we didn't film that in our journey to Da Nang this trip, but a couple years back we went to Vietnam, and Bana Hills is an amusement park near Da Nang. And when you go up, there's a huge cable car that goes up, and you get to the top, and there's a bunch of stuff, but one of the things up there is basically a fake, like a recreation of an 18th century French village. So Cory saying that this place reminds me of her makes me laugh, because that's funny, but also it is kind of true. The main difference being, though, that was a fake 18th century village, whereas this is actually like a legitimate, real 18th century village, because if I'm not mistaken, the main fortress construction happened around 1715. But still, a pretty funny remark.
Well, I mean, they did a pretty dang good job if it's reminding me of this, of Bana Hills, so.
Care să mă Sfântul și Sfântul și care să ne față la această sfântă slujbă, pentru că să ierte noi toată greșeala cea de noi și cea
It's 7 p.m. That was a lot more than 7 chimes on that bell in the church tower. Not sure what's going on there, but it's very pretty, very peaceful here. Behind me right now, this is the Romanian Orthodox Cathedral of Alba Iulia. We were planning to wander in and have a look, but as we were going to, after the church bells rang, basically dozens of people queued up to head inside, and it looks like it's prayer time right now. I don't know if that's mass or what have you. I'm not religious enough to know the difference, but because there now are prayers going on in there, we're not going to go inside because that would be disrespectful.
de năvălirea altor neamuri asupra noastră și de războiul cel dintre noi, și pentru ca milostiv și prețuitor să ne fie nouă bunul și iubitorul de oameni, Dumnezeul nostru, să îndepărteze și să împrăștie toată mânia care se pornește asupra noastră, să ne izbăvească pe noi de mustrarea lui cea dreaptă care este asupra noastră și să ne miluiască pe noi. Doamne, ești, Doamne, ești, Doamne, miluiește! Auzi-ne pe noi, Dumnezeule, Mântuitorul nostru, nădejdea tuturor marginilor pământului și a celor ce sunt pe mare.
That was a beautiful, unexpected surprise.
Yeah, Alba Carolina Citadel, very, very beautiful. Perhaps not as old as Corvin Castle from earlier today, but stunning in its own way. We did get here late in the day. It's after 7 p.m. now, and most of the museums and places like that are closed. However, the actual citadel is open 24 hours a day for people to come through the grounds. There's some restaurants, there's some bars, I think, in here as well to get drinks. But it's got a really cool vibe here.
Yeah, Romania in general has a really cool vibe, but this town I would say if you're in Sibiu and looking for something that's relatively close, this is definitely a place to come. It's got a lot of great restaurants. Surprisingly, the restaurants here get better reviews than most of the ones in Sibiu, which is shocking because Sibiu is a lot bigger. But
Yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna leave you guys for this video. We are gonna head back to the rental car and make our hour and 10 or so minute drive back to our Airbnb in Sibiu. So thanks very much for joining us today on our trip out to Corvin Castle. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up to give us a like and make sure you subscribe.
and join us in our other videos for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.
Părăteasele în asfântă de Domnul Iisus aleasă, milostivește spre noi și